This period brought to you by Scotiabank, proud supporter of over 5,000 community hockey teams and Canada's 5th season.
Welcome to Montreal and the Bell Centre, a marquee matchup between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Montreal Canadiens, the rubber match, if you will, as each team has one win apiece on the road against each other this season. You're looking to find your team tonight, and this is where you'll be able to find it. Here's our Budweiser Red Light scoreboard. 3 matinee matchups that are final, you'll see at the bottom. If you want to watch the Ottawa game, go to City. Detroit Capitals, you can go to Sportsnet. Of course, our later game, Calgary at Vancouver on CBC, Winnipeg at LA, the Rangers at San Jose on FX. Tonight, the Montreal Canadiens will honor the 20 victims who lost their lives in Paris, France this week.
Merci. Thank you. Pour l'interprétation des hymnes nationaux américains et canadiens, veuillez accueillir Montel Raphael. For the singing of the American and Canadian national anthems, please welcome Montel Raphael.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front essaie de faire en glorieux, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Every once in a while when Canada is dark and cold like mortar, there comes a game that should warm us up. This is one such game tonight. Two excellent teams, some of the game's best and most exciting players, rested and ready rivals. Pittsburgh against Montreal. When the finalists for the Vezina Trophy are named in a few months, these two goaltenders tonight could be on the list. Marc-Andre Fleury has 20 wins, 6 shutouts, and 16 times he's allowed 2 or fewer goals. Carey Price has 22 wins and has allowed 2 or fewer goals 20 times in this all-star season. Now you just watch. It'll be 7-6 tonight, guaranteed. Mark Jonette and Eric Furlan are the referees tonight. Brad Kovacic and Brian Murphy work the lines. And there's all sorts of star power on the ice to begin the game. Sidney Crosby, coached by Mike Johnston, is at center. David Perron has moved from the left wing to the right side on this line. And Chris Kunitz is back in his usual spot. And Michel Therrien will probably chase this matchup most of the night. Craig, with Thomas Plekanec on the ice against Sid Crosby. David Desharnais on his left wing and Dale Weiss on the right side. And this National Hockey League game from the Bell Center is underway. And the Penguins dump the puck in and have immediately iced the puck just 6 seconds in.
Well, as always, matchups when you're playing the Pittsburgh Penguins are so important. Plekanec against Crosby, it'll be the back end to worry about as well. Subban and Markov against the top. But then Malkin coming up, it'll be interesting to see if it's Galchenyuk going up against him. That'll be a great matchup to watch.
Malkin has been the hottest of the big two centers. Crosby just a goal in his last 8 games, but 6 assists. A saw up on the draw. Weiss takes a shot, and he didn't miss by much. Puck is held into the blue line by PK Subban. A centering pass from Weiss went off a stick. Plekanec with a shot that's blocked. Plekanec again with a pass, intercepted by Crosby, and out he comes. Perron is with him. The pass is intercepted, and Subban lifts the puck out to center. Plekanec for David Desharnais, who looks very comfortable being a left winger now, has been for half a dozen games. Dale Weiss in the midst of a change. On comes Alex Galchenyuk, and he goes to the front of the net. The pass from Desharnais didn't get through. Paul Martin broke it up. And the Penguins, Perron didn't get the puck out. Brendan Gallagher kept it in for a moment, and Perron recovered nicely and heads for the bench. Paul Martin back on defense with Robert Bortuzzo. And it's Bortuzzo from Thunder Bay who sends the puck ahead. It's tipped in on Carey Price by Steve Downey, and the play is stopped as Price holds on.
Interesting face-offs are critical. An opportunity in the offensive zone off that icing. Watch as Crosby and Desharnais tie each other up. Bortuzzo kicks it. Nobody goes to Dale Weiss, the most dangerous man. And then on a wraparound there, great stick by Fleury. Read that perfectly, took the puck and the chance away. And so quickly, the Penguins go back on transition.
With the last change in a face-off in his own zone, Eller came up. Brandon Sutter beat him on the draw, and Price has to make another save. And Glenn Healy is watching all of this from the Zamboni entrance at the end of the rink.
Yeah, it's the best you get here in Montreal, and if I was at the Zamboni entrance, I would have seen this. About 2 hours and 15 minutes before game time, Fleury, nobody in the building. Him and me, that's it. And he sits and thinks about what he's got to do tonight. He's off to a pretty good start. This is somewhat unusual. Price changes his stick right before the start of the hockey game. You know he can handle the puck. He's almost like a defenseman. Usually you have your game twig in hand as the anthem ends.
Eller won the draw for Montreal, got the puck to center, but the Penguins bring it right back in. Brandon Sutter on this line with Brian Rust, who's number 36, and Steve Downey, number 23. Played with Sid in his last game, and Downey just threw a big hit and knocked Alexei Yemelin down. Yemelin will take that number, and then Prusk goes after Downey, and they're separated by the linesman. Remember, these teams played last week, so they're very familiar with each other. This is their 3rd game of the season. Yuri Sekac, he is run over by Simon Despres. A big hard hit, and there's been a couple early on in the game. Nathan Beaulieu holds the puck in for Montreal. Gallagher working the inboards here. On comes Max Pacioretty. So the Galchenyuk line is coming back on after a very short shift, its first time out. Eller can't get the handle on the puck. Here's Simon Despres. Native of nearby Laval plays the puck to his partner, the veteran Rob Scuderi, and it's sent all the way down the ice, and there's no icing on this play as Price comes out to play the puck. Evgeny Malkin has come on the ice. Bo Bennett and Nick Spaulding are his wingers as Pacioretty blew a tire in the neutral zone and lost the puck. Malkin playing some of his best hockey at this point in the season, some of the best hockey of his career right now. He feels that way. And he's in after the puck. Shot back in by Chris Letang. Letang's paired tonight with Christian Ehrhoff. There's a switch for the Penguins out on the road. Letang usually plays with Paul Martin. Nathan Beaulieu makes a nice move to get free to center. Heads for the front of the net. The centering pass didn't get back to him from Dale Weiss, but that rush had some promise.
You can see the crowd's reaction there. A little ooh and ah as Beaulieu made a nice little nifty move in the neutral zone.
22-year-old called up 11 games ago. He's been scratched 8 times, sent to the minors twice. Maybe those days are finally over for Nathan.
For Mike's level, it was more like who? Him?
PK Subban in a wrestling match in the corner. Canadians get the puck out to center. Here's Paul Martin chased by David Desharnais. Zach Sill on the Penguins' fourth line dumps the puck in and then goes after PK Subban. He played the puck to his veteran partner Andrei Markov. Canadians out to center. Lars Eller with his shooting. He's got Trust with him. And Yuri Sekback. Martin trying to move the puck up the boards. David Perron trying to move it out. Crosby line has come back on, playing against Lars Eller's group. A pass to the blue line. Sergei Gonchar held the puck in. Eller to Frost, looking for someone to pass to. Back to the blue line. Beaulieu hangs on to the puck. He's got a crowd in front, and he goes for a skate, trying to lose David Perron. Cycles back in the corner. Brandon Frost checked by Bortuzzo, and Paul Martin gets the puck, and the Penguins get out to center. Crosby with some speed had to chase the puck. Pokes it by Beaulieu. Gonchar trying to block his pass, and coming back with Sekach to make the play in front. Take the puck away from Montreal. Brandon Frost, centering pass didn't get by Rob Scuderi. Simon Dupre working the boards. He'll get some help from left winger Chris Kunitz. To the blue line, and not quite out. The puck's held in for a moment by Alexei Yemelin. Kunitz with a shoot, and he wants to get off. His line mates have already changed. Tom Gilbert on his 32nd birthday, number 77, gets tied up by Bo Bennett. Evgeny Malkin held the puck in. Letang got crossed up and couldn't quite get the puck. Now he's going to chase it and regroup.
Yeah, Mike Johnson goes quickly back to Malkin right after Crosby. The first shift around, they went 2 shifts apart, and now a little challenge defensively, trying to get some momentum on the road. The 2 top lines going back to back.
Bo Bennett takes a pass, can't get through the neutral zone against Sven Andrighetto. There's a young fourth line. Christian Thomas is number 60 on the ice. He's the veteran of this group at 22. Michael Bordeval, the same age, just a little younger than Christian. And that line has a quick shift, gets off. Big decision for Michel Therrien to scratch Manny Malhotra, who's been such a good face-off man on the best face-off team in the league. Here's Alex Galchenyuk, taken out hard by Robert Bortuzzo. Paul Martin, his partner, gets the puck to center. Brian Rust to Steve Downey, and his shot is blocked. To the blue line, here's Bortuzzo with his shot, and that's blocked by his own man, Rust. Here's 36 trying to play the puck up the boards against Pacioretty and couldn't. Steve Downey, Brandon Sutter in front, and Price made the play and knocked the puck to the blue line, kept in by Paul Martin. Downey, chased by Brendan Gallagher. Looking for an outlet to pass to, gets the puck to the blue line, Bortuzzo. Lone man back, couldn't get the puck through, and Pacioretty's got it. He has 17 goals. The return pass from Gallagher, but Pacioretty was held up by Downey, who tries to throw a hit. And number 67 of the Canadians, a shot off the wing, and Fleury makes a nice blocker save. Markov up against Crosby. Just got the puck and kept it away from Sid.
What a great rebound control there by Fleury. He tried to spring his team offensively off of that save. Nice job getting back, though, by the Montreal defense.
Plekanec out against Crosby. Desharnais trying to feed Thomas Plekanec the puck. Desharnais has Weiss in front of the net. Gonchar got crossed up trying to get that puck on his backhand, and he had to back off. Nathan Beaulieu getting some ice time against Crosby for the second shift in a row with his veteran partner, Gonchar. There's some trust. David Perron, last of his line on the ice. They're changing. Continuous action here for 7 solid minutes.
And you don't think of either of these teams as being big hitting teams, but there's been some good physical contact early.
Zach Sill with his shot. Missed the net from a sharp angle, and the puck is up into the netting. And a couple of big hits. Steve Downey got it started on Alexei Yemelin on Hockey Night in Canada on CBC from Montreal. Welcome back, and the game is over. That's how quick it's been going here with over 6 minutes without a whistle, and it's warming up inside. Cold outside, but warming up with some hits in here, Glenn.
Yeah, well, we're starting to see a little bit of a game plan from the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that is play the body. Downey on Emelin. You got Dupree on Sakat, a skilled guy. There's another skilled guy in Galchenyuk. Bortuzzo takes him out. Montreal, they're quick, they've got skill, they can attack and score, so play them in the trenches, and I think that's what I've seen early on. Now, when you have Malkin and Crosby, then you can switch gears and play the speed game.
Lars Eller taking the defensive zone faceoffs, and he just won another one off Malkin. That's the only deficiency you can ever think of in the Kenny Malkin's game. It doesn't get much better year by year. He's only 40% in the faceoff circle. And so Montreal's able to get into the attacking zone. Brandon Trust, that's the second chance, had his pocket picked. Markov trying to hold the puck in. Bo Bennett's stick disintegrated after blocking that shot from Markov. Malkin with a drop pass right to Brandon Trust.
There's the good and the bad of Malkin as well, too. He'll try pretty much anything. Lots of confidence, playing well, and much like the big body of Mario Lemieux before him, you saw many risky plays around the offensive blue line that it sometimes drives coaches crazy.
Canadians changing on the fly here. Galchenyuk's line comes back on. Puck's dumped in by Alexei Emelin. Bob Scuderi's back. Simon Desprez at the boards. Rust bounces the puck out to center. Either Sutter nor Perron could come up with a puck. Now David Perron has got it. Checked by Galchenyuk. Good defensive play coming back. And the Canadian center lifts the puck in the air and gets it down the ice. Gallagher will forecheck here on Rob Scuderi.
Those are the kind of plays for Galchenyuk that you have to make. And a good job coming back defensively.
Playing against Sid right now, and here's Crosby with Perron heading for the front of the net. So is Kunitz. Bortuzzo came late. Martin with a shot that was blocked before it got through. Martin trying to center now. Plays the puck behind the goal. David Perron. Now Paul Martin. Crosby in front, watched by Alexei Emelin. Kunitz filling into the blue line, holds the puck in. It's out of the reach of Pacioretty. In comes Robert Bortuzzo. Defers to Chris Kunitz. Crosby's down on the goal line. Little keep away going on here for the Penguins. And now Plekanec finally gets the puck back as he comes on against Crosby. And Crosby will start a change. Good shift, but nothing much happened for Pittsburgh. They had the puck all the time.
Kind of like the game. It's surprising. Both these teams with such a light schedule, you think that they would start with guns ablaze, and both seem a little bit tentative, feeling each other out.
Montreal hasn't played since Tuesday when they lost to Tampa. Pittsburgh played Wednesday, lost in overtime to Boston, a game they probably should have won.
Both coaches with lots of practice time, but it looks like the teams so often play 3 and 4 nights with lots of energy.
Bourneval penalty coming up here to be against Pittsburgh. Maybe that'll change the game. Terry Price leaves for the extra attacker. And Righetto gave up the puck to Zach Sill. And the first penalty of the game will go against Pittsburgh, and it's Christian Ehrhoff who's going up.
Well, you can see the discussion on the Pittsburgh bench. It's a turnover that creates a tough play for Ehrhoff. It's an errant pass. Ehrhoff was jumping up on the play. Now he loses body position and just forced to get the arm out and take a little grab to take the penalty.
Don't miss Schitt's Creek. The hilarious new comedy starring Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara premieres this Tuesday at 9 on CBC. I've never said that on the air in my life.
What you read, right?
What is that show again? Jim, could you repeat that? Please?
And the face-off.
Play nicely underway.
Back to action.
The frustrating thing there for Pittsburgh, that's a fourth line shift.
Yeah.
They take a penalty, and then you got to have confidence in your coach to play you. Not many games, so will they get played a lot more? Speaking of which, all of Montreal's 3 D pairs have all played against Crosby.
Yeah, they don't seem to be trying to hide anybody, do they? Montreal's power play 27th in the league. Better at home, certainly, than it is on the road, where they only have 5 goals. Subban and Markov, as usual, on the blue line. Galchenyuk, Pacioretty, and Brendan Gallagher up front. A set line. Back to the blue line they go. Markov. PK Subban slides into the middle and passes off. Pacioretty turns to the net, snaps a shot, and Marc-Andre Fleury makes the save and stops play.
So often you think of the Pittsburgh Penguins as a great offensive team, but defensively, they've been a great penalty-killing team. Second in the National Hockey League, 12 for 12 in their last 4. They do an excellent job of boxing out. Set play where Galchenyuk wants that puck to come down, not a shot. You saw the kick out by Gallagher there, and if Fleury can see that puck, he's not letting that one in. Got to get more traffic in front of the goaltender.
Ontario didn't waste much time making a change here. Sends Andrighetto on with David Desharnais and Thomas Plekanec. Number 58 is 22-year-old Swiss-born Sven Andrighetto working the boards. He's finally knocked down, and Chris Letang has the puck for Pittsburgh. And the second best penalty killing unit in the league bounces the puck down the ice. PK Subban, long pass, didn't quite get through to Andrighetto. Markov into the attacking zone, watched by Marcel Gott, and Gott intercepted the pass, and it somehow got back to Markov. Chris Letang with a chance to clear. He gets a little help from Craig Adams.
Well, like all good penalty killing units, they pressure hard. They don't allow an easy entry into the zone, and so far here have not allowed the Montreal Canadiens to get the setup that they want.
Barely been set up at all. Nathan Beaulieu comes out. 22-year-old defenseman with a 40-year-old partner, Sergei Gonchar, on the second unit, and they're regrouping in their own end, and they've just about wasted this power play. Galchenyuk is up front. Already stopped at the blue line are Gallagher and Pacioretty, and they have to turn back.
And nothing worse than a power play that has been struggling on home ice. You can hear the crowd get antsy. You start to take chances. And now the first power play is a real momentum killer for this Canadiens club.
Only Buffalo has fewer power play goals than Montreal. Pacioretty. One shot on that power play, and as the penalty expires, Ehrhoff is back on the ice, and the game remains scoreless. Evgeny Malkin. Usually Malkin and Sid come out together after a penalty kill. Here's Malkin, cuts in, takes a shot. Price made the save, but it's Malkin with his usual line mates for this shift after a penalty kill. Out to meet the puck is Fleury, and he played it over to Simon Desprez. Malkin to Scuderi. Bo Bennett. An opportunity for Bennett now to stay healthy to play with Evgeny Malkin. Right-handed shot. Malkin likes that and wants a shooter, and Bennett can provide that. From the blue line, here's Chris Letang. His shot was blocked. Bouncing puck comes to Brandon Truss.
For Bennett, though, it's been health, hasn't it? He's had the opportunity and a chance to really solidify a place in the lineup, but he just can't seem to stay healthy.
Sid just missed a pass, and there's an icing call against Pittsburgh.
Well, Glenn, you know, as a goaltender, split-second decisions you have to be made at many times in the game. What about this one, though? It's a late response by Fleury to go after the puck.
Well, it's almost like Martin and Fleury looked at each other, and it was, you got it. I got it. No, you got it. Fleury, one thing about him, he's a good skater. And so he can make those decisions at the last moment and still get out.
Pittsburgh's Chris Kunitz back on Sid's line, takes a high shot that Carey Price stops. And we'll step out for a moment. This game awaits its first goal on Hockey Night in Canada from Montreal.
Welcome back to Montreal, and just a reminder, Coach's Corner coming up in the intermission. And David Perron's favorite player growing up was Alex Kovalev, and maybe a little bit of a surprise considering it was when he played for the Pittsburgh Penguins and he could have chosen Mario Lemieux. He practices Kovalev's moves in the summertime from his skills video. He wears the tongue of his skates outside of his socks like Alex Kovalev did, and he actually prefers to play his off wing like Kovalev did. But tonight, he's playing the right side with Chris Kunitz and Sidney Crosby. Jim?
Another similarity is he uses a tiny little stick, just like Alex Kovalev.
With a big toe curve. The only thing missing would be the skill of Alex Kovalev. Got all the equipment right.
David is on the ice right now with Sidney Crosby and Chris Kunitz. Christian Ehrhoff into the middle of the ice, and Sid takes over. In on Subban, who takes the man. Plekanec went after the puck. The other number 14 got there and cycled back, and Subban broke that up, but he threw the puck around, and Ehrhoff had it for a moment. He's backed up by David Perron, who holds the puck in. A quick outlet for David Desharnais from Markov, and that failed to connect, so it's an icing call against Montreal.
Well, the one thing that Wayne Gretzky always said in practice, you can't give a good player a bad pass, and here's a great example of that. A wobbly puck, look at no look, off the skate and right up, and barely misses his stride, and that's the hallmark of Sidney Crosby's abilities in neutral ice. Nice job with PK Subban, though. Look at, never once looked at the puck, looked at the Penguin jersey, and was able to get the puck away from Crosby.
You could get your star centerman hit real hard by giving him that kind of pass, couldn't you?
But that guy never looks down at the puck. He always sees what's coming.
Ryan Rust on the wing. Brandon Sutter moves in with a shot. Price made the save. Rust is very quick, and he got to the puck. Played it back to the blue line and gets it again. A tip through to Brandon Sutter. He's got Downey in front. In comes Bortuzzo, and he overskated the puck. Plekanec just about got away with it. He had a man open. Here's Christian Thomas with a shot, and that's stopped by Marc-Andre Fleury. And a great early chance for 22-year-old Thomas, called up from Hamilton yesterday.
Well, one of the reasons you mentioned the defensive pairings changing a little bit, and here's Paul Martin covering for Bortuzzo on the one side and then comes back. So Thomas forced to take that shot from the outside. Knew he was going to get cut off and just tried to force it through underneath the arm of Fleury, but Fleury out aggressively challenging him and taking away the net.
Thomas, the son of Tampa Bay assistant coach and former NHLer Steve Thomas, and Tampa's not playing tonight, so we know what tape Steve's breaking down tonight. Nathan Beaulieu. Thomas out of this line with Andrighetto, and there's a turnover and another chance in front. Andrighetto had the puck, and he couldn't get a good shot away. His fourth line with its speed created a turnover. They have the puck again. Bordeval to Andrighetto. They're playing against Evgeny Malkin's line, and now Gino gets loose, and Bo Bennett moves in on Nathan Beaulieu. Gonchar comes over to help his partner. Nick Spaulding working the puck for Pittsburgh. Up the board, Simone Dupre just kept the play onside.
You mentioned it a couple times. Michel Therrien putting a lot of faith in his team, just rolling the bench, not worried too much about the matchup and the way the Montreal Canadiens have been playing and winning. This team's got confidence, and they're taking it from their head coach.
The only thing he's really paid attention to is who he has taken a face-off in his own end.
Well, if you play that matchup game in Pittsburgh and they've got the dynamic duo and two different lines, you don't play your game.
Yeah.
You're chasing them all night long, trying to get the right guys on the ice.
Players hate it because you get out of rhythm. You end up sitting on the bench too long and you're focusing. It's like you got one foot on the brake all the time in your game.
Well, you can have a fourth line shift like Arrowgetto's line just had, with Malkin 200 feet from the other team's net. Mission accomplished.
Brendan Gallagher keeping the Penguins bottled up in their own zone, and now here comes Crosby. Moving in on Yemelin. He had him standing still. In comes Adams with a shot stopped by Price. Barry Price hangs on. There's the best chance of the game, and it's Craig Adams who is out with Sidney Crosby and David Perron's spot. Carey Price, best save of the game so far on Hockey Night in Canada. Don't miss this hilarious new comedy starring Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. It premieres this Tuesday at 9 on CBC.
Sidney Crosby one-on-one, so dangerous, and he goes right at the two defensemen. Emelin's a little bit tangle-footed, goes back to Adams, but look at wide open Sidney Crosby, but Adams just focused on trying to get a shot on goal. Kick out, he tap, 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 he wanted that puck. Instead, watch Price make an easy save.
Official, that is Adams' last shift to Crosby. By not passing it to him, he basically is up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
Oh, no. Chris Kunitz dumps the puck in as Sid Crosby goes in after it. David Perron is with them now. There's the pass back to the blue line, and Paul Martin. Crosby takes over again. Had some room to walk out there. Plekanec comes after it. Bortuzzo in for Kunitz. Subban got a piece of the puck. Markov with a hit from Perron, or spun off most of it. Here's Martin with a shot just wide. Another good shift for the Crosby line in the attacking zone, but they're not getting much to the net. Dale Weiss stumbled and fell at the blue line and covered his head. He thought that puck was coming right back in.
He buried his head, didn't he? Thought the dump in was coming.
This is not unusual for Montreal. They've only scored 15 first period goals, so to be scoreless at this point is not unusual for them at all. But for Pittsburgh it is. Highest scoring first period team in the league with 48 first period goals, nothing so far. Gonchar.
In context, 33 more goals in the first period than the Montreal Canadiens had. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Montreal's the worst, tied with Buffalo with 15.
Here comes Brandon Sutter with some speed. Chris Letang joins him, shoots, and he missed the net. Ryan Rust kicked at the puck. Downey trying to control it. It was bouncing. And Brandon Sutter takes over. Played it to himself to an open side, threw it at the net, out of the air, and Price has to make the save. And a pretty good attempt by Steve Downey. He was going to get a bunt single, but he couldn't quite get all of it.
You could sense Carey Price knew that there was trouble to his right, but it was the type of shot that you can't control the rebound. Watch how quickly he gets across, fights for that puck, and you're right, Downey tried to get a whack out of midair to get something on him.
Well, if you watched last Saturday and you're watching tonight, the one thing that stands out to me, no traffic on Price. What he sees, he's going to stop. You've got to get bodies in front of him. Here's Weiss, who goes down awkwardly. Kind of a twist of an ankle. The best chance of the game is Adams, who hasn't had a goal in 372 shifts. So they better get some bodies in front of 31, or it'll be another easy night. Back-to-back Saturdays.
It has been a difficult night for either of these goaltenders. There's a shot off the wing that hit a body in front after Pittsburgh won the draw. Galchenyuk's line on the ice against Malkin. And here's Evgeny Malkin with a backhand pass that was knocked down by Galchenyuk, and now he's racing up the middle. Brendan Gallagher looking for Markov, who's the trainer. The pass hit escape. Pacioretty threw the puck into the glove of Marc-Andre Fleury, and he stops play.
A tough play. Gallagher was so fixated on passing the puck back. It was Letang jumping up offensively that created the odd man rush. But I thought he might have been able to get the puck to Galchenyuk. Gallagher, Letang gets caught. Gallagher's got his head up and looking for the trailer the entire way. He takes a quick peek, and he might have been able to thread that through to Galchenyuk instead. But Evgeny Malkin comes back and makes the play defensively.
Much easier pass to Galchenyuk. In fact, when I saw him looking at Markov, I thought, he's bluffing.
Yeah, look back and then go to the net.
But became so fixated on him, that's what he wanted to do.
Galchenyuk beat Crosby on the faceoff. Markov's shot, set up by Subban, is stopped by Fleury. And here again, not fearing the matchup, Therrien plays Galchenyuk against Crosby.
Well, face-offs there. Sidney Crosby looked like he tried to go forward at that one, even get it out. Good puck movement, but like Glenn said about Carey Price, same can be said for Fleury. Nobody in front, easy save, and no rebound.
On his strong side, Gallagher comes in to take the draw here against Sid, and Sid wins it cleanly. Bortuzzo to Paul Martin. Up the boards, and Perron gets the puck to center no further.
Crosby just got hit, I think, by the stick of Gallagher. Just shaking his arm a little bit.
Fleury plays the puck to Paul Martin. Up the boards. Crosby through the middle. The pass went to Markov, and he cleared it, but Martin rushed right onto it. So Crosby has to kick it up, so he couldn't get the shot. The pass was in his feet. Now Martin's caught. Here's a 2-on-1. Pacioretty with Gallagher, shoots and scores! Bad pass and a turnover, and Max Pacioretty's got his 18th of the season. 1-0 Montreal.
Well, I mentioned the shift for Sidney Crosby. He's a little bit off. Why? Because here he's not looking, gets hit by Gallagher down low. Shakes his arm, a little bit off kilter, and then offensively makes a bad play. The pass is in his feet. No effort coming back. And like we saw before, there's no fixated on making a pass there. You're the shooter, take the shot, looks him off, and makes a perfectly placed shot under the bar.
It's an incredible release. That's off his stick in a flash. Hard to believe now, 5-on-5. Max Pacioretty, he's a plus 22 now.
There's Downey with his shot. Price the save, and he got the rebound too. As the pace of this game starts to pick up. And Pacioretty gets his 18th goal of the season. He's got 5 in his last 6, and he wasn't selected to the All-Star team.
He's just got such a great release, is right, but the Penguins come flying back. Calmness. You talked about Carey Price's ability to stay calm under pressure. No better example of that, finding that rebound, calmly grabbing the puck.
Now, absolutely perfect. Up the ice, head up. He has options. He does have the pass. He's got the shot, and he goes to his bailiwick. The shot's the better play for him.
Pittsburgh won the draw. There's a tip just wide. Zach Sill tipped the puck out of the air after Dupre took the shot.
There's back-to-back defensive zone face-offs that would have Mahalter there, and twice in a row now Montreal has lost because they didn't.
Although their whole team has been pretty good this year, and Lars Eller has become a much better face-off man, but lost a couple there. Unassisted goal for Max Pacioretty.
Well, that's a wrister from about 30 feet, and it is going at about 126.6 kilometers per hour.
And Glenn, know you like the fact it wasn't by the glove, it was right by the elbow, right in the crook there that he can't get his glove on.
Another attacking zone faceoff win for Pittsburgh. And Letang's shot was knocked down by Eller, who bounces the puck through center. Cornwall races after it. Crushed on the forecheck. Skated by Christian Ehrhoff. A giveaway. Eller in front. Press off the post. Another shot. Fleury's down. And now he gets right back up again. Board of ball to Brandon Prust. Christian Ehrhoff dragged down. No penalty call either way. Evgeny Malkin deep in his own zone. Put a puck off the skate of Ehrhoff.
I thought Chris Letang stopped playing. He wanted a penalty and was looking at the ref when all that transpired at the net.
Great chances for Brandon Prust. Here's Bo Bennett in front, one-handed. Malkin put the puck on net. For the 18-minute mark, a bell went off and they both started to play.
Well, another big hit as well. And here's Letang going after the puck, not expecting to get hit. And on the play, he doesn't support Ehrhoff. Instead, he's looking at the official. And Fleury able to get across and just scramble himself to make a save.
Face-off win for Thomas Buchanan, who came on against Sidney Crosby in the defensive zone. Last half a minute of the first period. David Desharnais with a shot that ricocheted off a body. Buchanan threw the puck around on the boards. Here comes Pernell Carl. He's checked by Kunitz. David Desharnais gave the puck away, trying to move it to Dale Weiss. And to center comes Chris Kunitz. He'll dump the puck in. Markov is back. David Perron is right on him. A hard around, stopped by Bortuzzo. And he tried to hold the puck in. It's quickly thrown back out. There's going to be a penalty here on Bortuzzo for taking Dale Weiss down. With 2 seconds to go in the first period, it's an interference penalty that, had he realized how little time there was left, he didn't need to take.
Yeah, if you look up right now, 1.2 seconds on, you could basically just let this go. And instead, he started with the arm there, and that's one that Mike Johnson, at the end of the period where you're already down, will not like the call. And Bortuzzo shaking his head as well.
Good period for the Montreal Canadiens, though. Crosby, Malkin, that's all kinds of skill, firepower. Crosby hasn't had a chance this period, and this is the best for Malkin here. What's missing? A second hand on your stick.
Yeah.
So, a tight period for the Montreal Canadiens. Well done.
This is just the 7th time at the halfway mark of the regular season that the Montreal Canadiens have taken a lead into the second period. And they do it on a goal by Max Pacioretty, his 18th of the season at 18:10 of the first period. So a 1-0 lead for the Montreal Canadiens as we send you to George Stroumboulopoulos.
All right, merci, Jim. Here we are. First intermission, the Pens and the Habs from the Bell Center in Montreal. We'll get you caught up in some of the stuff that happened around the league and quite possibly an injury that could be serious. But of course, it's time for the nation's, well, favorite couple. Ron and Don, Coach's Corners, next.
At the Bell Center in Montreal, Max Pacioretty has his 18th goal of the season. The Canadiens have a 1-0 lead and will begin the second period on Hockey Night in Canada on a power play with Robert Bortuzzo in the penalty box for interference with 2 seconds left in period number 1. So a power play that was very sluggish in the first period and has been for most of the season gets a chance to work right off the hop in the second. Galchenyuk, Gallagher, Pacioretty, Subban, and Markov on the power play. Pittsburgh's excellent penalty killing features Brandon Sutter at center with Nick Spaulding, Chris Letang, and Rob Scuderi. PK Subban will start the breakup. With some speed, Galchenyuk, his pass intercepted in the middle of the ice by Nick Spaulding. And the Penguins have the puck back, just like they did much of the time on that power play in the first period that Montreal had.
Look at how quickly they switch to. It's a 25-second shift for the forwards on the penalty kill.
With some speed again, Alex Galchenyuk plays the puck around to Brendan Gallagher. To the blue line, Subban quickly over to Markov. The puck skipped on him. He threw it towards the net. A bouncing puck and like a good shortstop. Marc-Andre Fleury got down in front of it.
Well, when you can't get the setup and you're getting pressured, you need to make good, crisp, clean passes. You can see a little conversation. Subban and Markov. Subban had a rolling puck, but the pressure was there, and that forced the bad pass.
Do you think everything from Montreal goes up high? So the penalty killers just take away that blue line. They don't have much down low. Maybe when Alex Galchenyuk gets better and a little older, he'll be the go-to guy so they can go high to low. Make a play down by the net. Markov, Subban fires, that was tipped, there's a loose puck. Cleared away from in front of the net, Fleury's without his stick. Subban fires again, a rocket that went just wide of the net. Martin poked the puck up the boards. Craig Adams trying to clear, can't do it. Pacioretty, Galchenyuk. Brendan Gallagher comes after the puck, and he's got it. Back to PK. Forced to his backhand by Adams. Fell down, he threw the puck into the middle, and here's a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Simon Desprez. Craig Adams shoots, and an easy save for Carey Price. Pacioretty back the other way with a man advantage. Drops the puck off, and Gallagher shot it just wide of the net of the one-timer. Markov into the middle of the ice. There's Brandon Sutter, cuts in, takes a shot that was blocked by Sergei Gonchar. Markov with a quick up to center, but David Desharnais had to regroup. Better looking power play for Montreal this time, still without a goal. Thomas Plekanec threw the puck off the boards for Dale Weiss. Scuderi was there to try and clear it again, and he didn't get it out twice. Desharnais to Plekanec. His sharp-angled shot went off the goaltender. Nathan Beaulieu looked up, lost the puck. Letang came right at him and cross-checked into the ice. Bortuzzo's out of the penalty box. It's 5-on-5, but the Canadiens have the puck thrown at the net by Thomas Plekanec. Now the Penguins get the puck. Zach Sill gave it away. Desharnais kept it in, and Plekanec's been able to hang on to that. He had Weiss on a 2-on-1 down low. Dale Weiss to David Desharnais. Plekanec works in front of the net. Up to Nathan Beaulieu. Subban returns it. Beaulieu takes a shot that went off the stick of Bortuzzo, who's playing as a forward because he just came out of the penalty box. Nathan Beaulieu, Subban, David Desharnais, slap pass, tipped just wide by Plekanec. And the Penguins need a stop in play and a change here in a long change second period.
Well, even though they didn't get a goal that time, at least the Montreal power play didn't kill the momentum. A good finish to that power play with some pressure in the offensive zone.
Some great entries. That was the key that was lacking in the first.
With some speed, there's a tip by Brandon Pruss over top of the net and a pass from Beaulieu. Penguins break out. Sidney Crosby at center. He's got some speed. That Gonchar turned around. Kunitz. Perron took a shot. That was blocked by the stick of Markov. Hard hit. And a chance in front for Perron. It was Sekac who got hit hard into the boards. Sidney Crosby bounced the puck off the leg, and Markov quickly cleared it out to center. Sekac trying to get around Christian Ehrhoff. Now he's just trying to control the puck, and Kunitz took it away from him. Perron. Crosby wanted it. The puck goes in deep, and Price is out to touch it. Side of the net. There was a chance with Price casually out of the net, and Kunitz and Crosby couldn't take advantage. Barzell. Good hip check by Rob Scuderi. Desprez double teamed here by Montreal. They catch. His pass was intercepted by Spaulding. Scuderi to Bo Bennett at center. Check, and the puck bounced to the wrong guy for Montreal. Off the skate to Evgeny Malkin, but he couldn't reel it in for a chance. Malkin comes out of that battle with the puck. Bo Bennett to the blue line. Scuderi with a screen in front. Malkin has two Canadians on him. He still made the play to the corner. Tom Gilbert. Ehrhoff knew what was coming, so he pitched down on the right side boards and held the puck in. Evgeny Malkin to Bo Bennett. Back to Malkin in front of the net. That bounced off a couple of legs. Never did get to Spaulding, but still loose. In some feet, Spaulding with one hand. Couldn't get much of a shot, and Carey Price covers up.
Price happy to get a stoppage in play. And the last power play with a great chance off the face-off. Though, watch the front of the net, a tip shot. Gallagher has a wide open net here, but credit to Prey. He's got the stick on Gallagher, and Fleury was out of position, but battled hard to get himself back. Lost his stick, but was able to survive the onslaught.
Where you see Gauci offers him the stick, and Fleury says, nah, maybe not. And you know the way goalie pads are constructed today, if you go down on the butterfly, you can basically put your pads down and totally cover the bottom part of the net. That's a little bit of dirty pool there by Markov. He put the stick almost to the penalty box. So Paul Martin had a long way to go to get it for the handoff.
Nathan Beaulieu battles in his own zone, made the play to Conchard. Gallagher, and a good breakout for Montreal. Pacioretty at center ice. Squeezed off the puck, and this is offside as Ehrhoff took him in over the blue line.
Well, you think Brandon Sutter is such a key role defensively for this Penguins team, but Jim, when you look at the coach, Mike Johnson, making decisions, do you put Crosby together with Malkin at times to try to get your offense going? I think the fact that he hasn't been able to get any offense from his fourth line, and Sutter with just 2 goals in his last 20 games has really had that void of offense from the third line too, and that's why I think you end up putting them apart as opposed to putting them together.
And no Hornquist or Blake Como, who's scored some goals for them this season, so if the big guys don't get the goals, there's not much hope of anybody else getting in.
And there's the drop-off from Stahl. When Stahl was your third-line center, you at least felt you get an offensive push there. Sutter hasn't been able to get his offensive game going at all.
McRae shot the puck back in for Pittsburgh.
Well, what a month of December for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Oli Mata with cancer, they deal with that. And then you've got Pascal Dupuis with blood clots. And that's unusual, they deal with that. And then the team gets ravaged by the mumps.
There's a turnover, Christian Thomas. Sven Andrighetto, he created the turnover. He's a speedy fourth line for Montreal. All very young with great wheels. Michael Porteval forechecking. And again, they hold the puck in. Good positional play, and now Kunitz breaks out, and it's the fourth line playing against Sid Crosby's line. Crosby into the middle. Simon Dupré got his stick loose and took a shot off the side of the net. Christian Thomas played the puck to center. His fourth line will want to change now. And they wouldn't dare take off there. Now they might as they get to center and dump the puck in. They've had some good shifts. Thomas Plekanec's line comes on. Reese and David Desharnais, a bouncing puck at center. Plekanec gets a hold of the puck. Chased by the Penguins' fourth liner, Zach Sill. Desharnais cuts to the net. Poke check by Fleury, and the puck is loose at the side of the net. And Marcel Gott starts out.
Good aggressive read by Fleury there. He anticipated that cut to the net by Desharnais, got the stick in there.
Full confidence, isn't he? Greg Adams to the blue line. Paul Martin shot intentionally wide. Gilbert's trying to handle the puck. He's double teamed. Gotch in his 600th NHL game just got hooked, and there's going to be a penalty to Alexei Yemelin. First power play of the game for Pittsburgh. And they, like Montreal, have struggled mightily with a man advantage for the last month or so as Yemelin wrapped up Marcel Gotch and gets a penalty for it on Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Sidney Crosby might get a more favorable matchup because he's on a power play. First man advantage for Pittsburgh.
Well, it's not a magical night here Saturday in Montreal, and there's a good reason for it. Every time 87 touches the puck, it's all about numbers. It's in his feet, 1-on-2, 1-on-3. You're not going to beat NHL players. They're playing well defensively, and that's what the Montreal Canadiens have done. Surround 87. He may beat one guy, but he's not beaten 3, and it's been a real frustrating night for him. Not a single shot attempt at the net. Well done, Montreal, early on.
Well, speaking of frustration, how about this power play? 28 goals in the power play. That sounds okay, but 21 of them came in the first month of the season.
Hard to imagine that with the talent that's on the ice even now, and the top three, Letang on the blue line and Malkin and Crosby, that they can set some right.
So they changed things around a little bit. Malkin was playing up at the left point of the power play, and now he'll set up to a large degree on the right wing boards. Same personnel. Kunitz is up at the blue line. Malkin is carrying the puck. He's in the attacking zone, and he's poke check. The puck was swept away by PK Subban. Pacioretty broke his stick. He'll have to change up.
You think about the first 3 games of the season for Pittsburgh. Power play goal for Crosby in all 3. Last 34 games, he's had 1 power play goal, and that was against Montreal. I don't know how you can keep that guy off the score sheet.
Malkin has 1 power play goal in 9 games. Kunitz 2 in 22. Letang nothing in 26. Stretch pass goes right to the goaltender.
Too many options, right? You've got so many bags of tricks that you can go through.
And I can tell you from experience, they're hard to coach because even Rick Tocchet, behind the bench there, or Mike Johnson, you try to tell skilled players who have won Art Ross trophies and MVPs, how to play a game and how to orchestrate something doesn't always work well.
Here's Chris Letang, one-timer by Perra off the shoulder of Carey Price. Malkin has Brandon Sutter at the side of the net. Letang still at the blue line. Perra set up for the one-timer. Malkin against Lars Eller. Letang, here's Perra, started to close in, pass back. Here's Letang, Perra, one-timer, Price the save, rebounds loose in front, poked away and cleared by Lars Eller. And Downey and Gilbert hacking at each other behind the play, and the referee let him do it.
Let him go. They're both guilty of the hack, so 1 for 1. But Gilbert saved the goal there. Downey had a rebound chance, and Gilbert got a stick in.
Great night for Downey. 4 shots already. That's a career high. He's been the best player for Pittsburgh.
That's the good news and the bad news, isn't it?
He'll take a penalty, though. He just almost got another chance of getting one there. Retaliating.
Hamilton's out of the penalty box. It's 5-on-5. Pittsburgh's 0 for 1 on the power play. Dale Weiss battling Brandon Sutter.
Hard to believe, Joe. That's 1 for 20 now for the Pittsburgh Penguins the last 8 games.
Cost them the game against Boston on Wednesday night. They had enough power plays to win it. Put it away, couldn't do it. Andrei Markov, long pass at center. Here's Brendan Gallagher in on Scuderi, forced to the boards. A good play by the veteran defenseman. Subban holds the puck in. The Galchenyuk line will chase it. Simon Dupre up the boards, bouncing puck, and Pacioretty kept it alive. Dupre. We get a lot of action with Mike Johnson. What a difference it makes to have a new coach that has confidence. Up the middle, here's Marcel Goc. Couldn't get the shot away. And no penalty on the play. Zach Sill to Craig Adams. Dupre takes a shot that was easily blocked by Pacioretty, and he sends Gallagher away. He was trying to find Galchenyuk at center, and he just couldn't get a hold of the handle on the puck.
Boy, that was a risky play by Dupre, but he knew he was going to get beat and gambled and was able to get a piece of the puck.
Yuri Sekac taken out hard by Bortuzzo. Lars Eller forechecking after the puck from Montreal. He threw it around to the boards, and Gonchar will have to chase it. Sid Crosby's got a step on him, and he'll get to the puck first. Threw it in front of the net, and there's the veteran Gonchar with a smart play. He didn't chase Crosby, just used his stick to deflect the puck out of play. Great chance in front of the net, and Max Pacioretty with a great back check for Montreal on Hockey Night in Canada. You heard us talk about it. There it is officially. A power play that looked like it was going to set records for the first month has gone cold.
Hey, you do have streaks throughout the year like that, but watch how Montreal kills penalties here. They take away Crosby in the middle, they pressure Malkin, it's Malkin against 4, and it's a turnover. And there's the frustrating part. The only guy who had the wide open shot was David Perron twice, and Carey Price equal to the task. Nice rebound control, and there's the battle with Gilbert in front.
Perron, he's such a small stick. He's not really a one-timer kind of guy, right? Not like a Subban, where it comes off his stick like a rocket.
David Desharnais into the attacking zone against the Crosby line. Perron with the outlet pass. Christian Ehrhoff jumps up, gets a return pass from Kunitz. A weak shot, but sliding backwards. Price had to make sure he didn't slide right back into the net.
Now you're seeing a bit of frustration, too, as Sidney Crosby jaws with Plekanec and PK Subban. I'm sure he's getting an earful. Crosby gets position. He wants this puck. Look at, he's even yelling for it. Instead, it's an easy shot and a smart play as Price is able to hold on, gets a little snow shower from Crosby.
We mentioned Perron's stick, the smallest in the rack, and you can see he's got his name on them, and yep, there they are. He used those probably when he was in Pee Wee, but the smallest of all the group, even the goalie sticks are taller, and Bortuzzo, that's the tallest one in the mix.
Stick dealer to a choo-choo.
You see him back at the hotel on his knees playing with the kids. Yeah. Hockey tournament in our hotel.
Paul Martin knocked down a backhand shot, ends up in the corner as Lars Eller got the chance. Eller plus Borneval playing together here as the Penguins Malkin line breaks out. Spalling is with him. Malkin just about ran into his winger Bennett. Gonchar tried to clear the puck. Bortuzzo kept it in. Nick Spalling has Malkin in front. Now behind the net. Bennett's out front as Malkin tries to get away from a pair of Canadians, Beaulieu and Eller. Nathan Beaulieu. Gonchar and out.
How many times have we shown both Crosby and Malkin with at least 2 red sweaters around them? And there's another great example defensively, just outnumbering Malkin in the corner.
That shift is all Eller. Give him full marks. Tough task.
There's Brendan Gallagher. Slipped the puck into the middle of an office skate and sends Brandon Sutter back the other way into the feet of Rust. And a battle along the boards. Brian Rust in for Sutter.
And there's growth by Galchenyuk again, too. That was a great backtrack, back-checking. He came off the bench, knew what he had to do defensively, and took away a play.
Looks like he's a centerman forever.
Absolutely. And Therrien just rolled in the lines right now.
Brian Rust with a shot, and a nice save by Carey Price. He steered the puck into the corner. Canadians have been impeccable defensively tonight and have been for a while. In 7 of their last 11 games, 1 or fewer goals against. Hamlin with a sharp angled shot. You see their swarming defense tonight. PK Subban, nice evasive move to the blue line. Corneval looks towards the net. There's that 4th line for Montreal again. They've had some good shifts and they're in the attacking zone once again. With some help from Subban, who's dragged down, and it'll be a Pittsburgh penalty. Corneval taken down. Goaltender's out for the extra attacker. And Righetto's shot is blocked. Sven Andrighetto again after Scuderi blocking his pass in front. Plekanec couldn't control it. And as Zach Sill gets a hold of the puck, Pittsburgh will be penalized. And Montreal will get its 3rd power play of the game as Simon Despres goes off.
Well, when you're jumping and you keep your legs moving, the big body of PK Subban keeps the play alive by protecting the puck. And then watch this no-look backhand pass by Subban. Andrighetto there can't get it through Scuderi, who might have saved the goal. And coming off the bench, Plekanec might have had a tap in there. Here's the defensive effort. Eller down low, not overplaying, gets support from his defense. And it's been a frustrating night for both Crosby and Malkin defensively for the Canadians.
The 4th line for the Canadians, they draw another penalty. You've seen them play with Crosby on the ice in the offensive zone, and they're good on them. Now they give the Montreal Canadiens a chance to go up by 2.
And they will get to play on the power play, but they definitely created it. Now if the Canadians could just get their power play working. PK Subban. Markov is with him. Give and go of the blue line. Plekanec goes deep with it. Pacioretty let the puck go. David Desharnais. A little different look. Not a set line on the power play this time. Pacioretty. Desharnais. Subban. And the back door play wanted the puck. Markov, the lone man of the blue line. Plekanec spots him. Feeds him the puck. Markov passes off. Plekanec, one-timer. Stopped by Fleury on a deflection, and he stops playing.
Your community at khv2015.ca by February 8th for your chance to be the next Kraft Hockey Bill. Brought to you by Philadelphia Cream Cheese.
Good puck moving up top. Couple of quick passes, but the ability of Fleury to read the pass, watch him get across, coming square to the shot, and a nice reflex save there, holding on.
Sid Crosby out for the face-off on the penalty kill. The Penguins got it, couldn't clear it. Andrighetto on the power play with Gallagher to go to the front of the net. From the blue line, Beaulieu to Gonchar and back. Gallagher's parked in front now. Andrighetto's there as well. Galchenyuk, Gonchar, Alex Galchenyuk shot. That's stopped by Fleury. Sven Andrighetto right up front. The 2-footer by Beaulieu on the back door play, and he couldn't beat Marc-Andre Fleury. And now the Penguins get a hold of the puck and clear it. And the last couple of power plays from Montreal have been okay. They just haven't scored.
Oh, the penalty killing, your goaltender needs to be good, and Fleury's been excellent on this one.
Here's Gallagher now. Nathan Beaulieu thought about sliding the puck over to Gonchar. Didn't like what he saw. Andrighetto. Galchenyuk. Gallagher's trying to get open in front, and an attempted cross-seam pass is picked off. Here's Brandon Sutter. Snaps the shot. There's a rebound right there. Sill couldn't get a hold of it, but he's aggressively forechecking, and the Canadians are just about out of time with a man advantage. Lars Eller knows that, so he makes haste up the ice. Drives wide on Letang. Took a sharp angled shot. And Fleury, was a good thing that he was hugging the post, because I'm not sure that he saw that when it first was snapped and hit it. Penalties over, 5-on-5 on Hockey Night in Canada in the second period with the Canadians up by 1. Rick goes on a new reckless adventure in an all-new Rick Mercer report Tuesday at 8 on CBC. Glenn.
Worst kept secret in Montreal past 3 seasons. There's one guy who's led the NHL in goalie interference penalties. Everybody knows it. Fleury knows it. Always on the edge, sometimes over the edge. They try to get inside the kitchen of Fleury. You look at Fleury and you look at Price. These two guys, 10 years in the league, 8 years in the league, and these guys are set for a career year.
Malkin won a draw, and now he's got the puck. What a great pass. Bennett's shot is not a good one. It went off a Canadian stick as he was checked, but Malkin made that play happen right from the faceoff.
It's been a bounce back year for Fleury in a lot of ways. He's had to work on parts of his game. Part of it has been mental. A lot of it too has to do with his strength, because he is one of those goaltenders that is going to play a ton of hockey. And here's a good example of him off the ice, working on his strength. Goaltenders, you got to have a strong core. That's probably Price's biggest attribute. Page out of the book from Price by Fleury.
New goaltending coach has helped him. Mike Bales and he have a very good relationship.
No question it's going to be between the ears, though, don't you think, come playoff time?
Here's Evgeny Malkin to Bennett. His one-timer dribbled through off a stick. There's a couple of chances for Bennett, and he wants to take advantage of those if he wants to stay with Evgeny Malkin.
Jim, you talked about Bennett early on, and this is what you have to be prepared for when you're playing with top players. A turnover, think offensively, and be ready for a shot. You can see he's locked and loaded, doesn't quite get a hold of it, but as soon as there's a turnover, look, he's got his stick in the air, trying to get the one-timer down. It was a little bit ahead, and as you saw there, a deflection off the defense. But preparation for the shot every time they get the puck.
Canada's won the draw, but Pittsburgh won the loss, and Crosby has the puck on his backhand, can't get the shot. Ehrhoff with his forehand to the net, and calmly, Carey Price makes the save. Chris Kunitz right there. Again, Rick goes on a reckless adventure in an all-new Rick Mercer report. That's Tuesday at 8, the Mercer report on CBC. 1 goal in the game, first period, 18-10. Max Pacioretty's 18th of the season in Montreal. Crosby won the draw. Ehrhoff to Letang, couldn't get the shot. PK Subban shoveled the puck ahead. David Perron kept it in. Thomas Plekanec. Kunitz intercepted that clearing attempt, and he couldn't set up Crosby. Letang held the line for a moment. Now Dale Weiss with a chance to get away. Desharnais is with him, and a great defensive play by Letang. Passed in front again by Dale Weiss. David Perron moves the puck to center. Here's Crosby, can't dance Markov. Perron is back defensively. Christian Ehrhoff get the puck down the ice, and Markov goes back. No icing here.
Well, you get a real appreciation for the defense that play those big minutes. Letang there thinking offense, but having to come back defensively. So much energy spent.
Galchenyuk knocked the puck out of the air on a rebound, and he couldn't control it. Downey. Paul Martin. Bounced out through center by Brandon Sutter. Nathan Beaulieu. He's been noticeable tonight. He's been very good. Nice move by Galchenyuk. Gallagher. Hard to the net. Kicked aside. Galchenyuk's down, and he's hurt. It's very slow to get up.
Downey got him hard. He caught him right in the head.
Galchenyuk's up, and he looks like he's okay now. He's staying in the play, not going to the bench. Beaulieu trying to hold the line. And now he regroups, and Montreal changes.
Sorry, Jim. His head snapped against the glass there as he got hit. Wasn't expecting Downey to come in from that angle.
This fire by Marc-Andre Fleury. Sven Andrighetto. There's that fourth line again. The new youthful fourth line of the Montreal Canadiens. Andrighetto trying to wrap around. Can't do it. Tom Gilbert. In for Michael Bournival. Christian Thomas there takes the pass in the cycle. Hard centering pass. Too hot to handle for Andrighetto. And the puck comes off the boards all the way down the ice. Alexei Yelman. Beat the forecheck. Tom Gilbert. Andrighetto, he turns and heads the right direction. Intercepted at center by Evgeny Malkin. Backhand pass to Bo Bennett. Spalling goes to the net. Bennett wanted a rebound, didn't get it. Now here's Evgeny Malkin to the blue line. Scuderi's shot way wide of the net. Simon Dupre turns. Here's Malkin. Shoots. He scores. Big crowd in front and a big goal by Gino. Evgeny Malkin ties the game 1-1.
You mentioned that that fourth line was playing so well, but they get caught out on a mismatch. And Malkin came out like he saw blood. It's like a hound dog. He turns the puck over in the neutral zone, makes a play, gets his legs going. And one thing, great players, the puck always seems to find him. And here's Malkin just staying on the puck, twirling. And he just absolutely unloads this one with traffic in front. Glenn said you got to have traffic to beat Carey Price. The bodies in front were red ones, and Price never even saw that one go through.
In and out almost as quick as it went in. But you're right, the Hail Mary pass by the fourth line, that might work in the minors, and it may be a hope play, but hope's only a thought. A turnover's killer against the Falcon line.
That play in the neutral zone, though, Malkin faked that he was going to go to the inside and stopped up and went to the boards and cut off that pass.
One of the few mistakes that group has made. They've been mostly in the attacking zone tonight. There's Galchenyuk with his helmet off, trying to get his wits about him after that.
You can see Downey got underneath his arm there, and that propelled his head into the glass.
Well, Montreal scored late in the first. Pittsburgh has now scored late in the second. And it's all tied up 1-1 as Malkin gets his 19th goal of the season. And there's an icing call against Pittsburgh with 1:21 to go in the period.
You know, there are times in a game where you just look at top players and they realize they need something. And Malkin got the matchup he wanted, and he just came onto the ice with a real sense of purpose. Never looks down at the puck, sees he's got a spot, and this is just shoot as hard as you can through traffic. And just over the shoulder of Price as he was looking underneath, trying to find that puck through a crowd.
Pittsburgh's first goal on Carey Price in about 89 minutes.
He seems to have a comfortable line that he likes to work with. I know he didn't like James Neal leaving, but they had to make that move. Now I wonder with Crosby, now how many different right wingers has he played with over the years?
There's a centering pass from the latest one. That's David Perron, number 39.
That a factor? Sidney Crosby so quiet in Montreal on a Saturday night.
There's Thomas Buchanan playing against Crosby. He's had something to do with that quiet night. Brandon Sutter's just come on the ice. He bounces the puck to center. Nathan Beaulieu is there to shoot it back in. He hit his own man, Dale Weiss, and it's an offside call, and it hurt a teammate all at the same time, and Weiss isn't very happy.
Sidney Crosby, he can play with anybody, one of the greatest players in the game today. But this is a list of the guys that have been on his right side. It's lengthy, it's extreme, a lot of different players. You know, and Simmer, you played with Gretzky, it was always Gretzky Curry. Yeah. It was always Messier and Anderson. You know, it was always Messier and Graves in New York. Do you think that has any factor? Because I see Perron doing a lot of watching.
I don't think there's any question. The frustration starts to build. You don't have that chemistry or trust. And I think he's happy having Kunitz back, as Mike Johnson was forced to split them up a little bit, he said, because of injuries, both to Crosby and then to Kunitz.
There's Evgeny Malkin again with a shot that was blocked by Sergei Gonchar. Throws it up to Sid Crosby to make those players better. He certainly can do it. Sidcatch driving wide. Lars Eller plays the puck back. Here's Gonchar. Eller shoots, a nice save. There's a rebound. Beaulieu can't get there in time. And it might have been a game saver by Bo Bennett, who poked the puck away as the siren sounds, and some real emotion entered this game for one of the very few times tonight.
Yeah, Prust and Malkin going after each other. Malkin threw a little bit of an elbow. Here's Eller through a crowd again, a tough one with the deflection in front. Seacatch can't get a piece of it. Fleury does, but the rebound for a split second was there until Bennett made a good defensive effort.
Evgeny Malkin scored at 18:28. Game on tonight in Montreal. It's 1-1 through 2 periods on Hockey Night in Canada.
Welcome back to Montreal. It's 1-1 to start the third between the Penguins and the Montreal Canadiens, and I'm here with Mike Johnson, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Everyone talks about the matchups for Crosby, but you were able to get a good one that second period with Malkin against their fourth line.
Yeah, what you try and do is just get our shifts shorter so it makes it more difficult for them. Obviously off draws, they've got the matchup they want. So if we can change on the fly and really juggle things, then they have to scramble a little bit on the bench.
What do you need more from your team here in the third period?
Just better puck management. I thought our puck management was better in the second period. It wasn't as good in the first. That's where we have to be better.
Mike, appreciate this. Thank you.
Thanks, Cassie.
Let's go back upstairs to Jim Houston.
Mike hasn't seen many of these nights since he took over as head coach. He's seen Malkin get a goal tonight, but Sid Crosby doesn't even have an attempt on net. It's been 2 years since he's had a game where he didn't even get a shot attempt. Had a couple of plays where he made passes, but there was no finish for him. And so the third period begins in a 1-1 tie in Montreal, and Crosby's on the ice with Kunitz and Perron. So PK Subban is on with Andrei Markov, David Desharnais, and Thomas Plekanec. Up jumps PK. Tried to make a move on Paul Martin. He turns, takes a shot. That was blocked by Crosby. Markov with a shot. A couple of ricochets like a pinball, and Crosby gets the puck. His pass for Perron broken up by Markov.
That's nothing new for Sidney Crosby, getting a tough matchup every single shift, but right at the start there, 2 Montreal Canadiens deep on him in the zone.
Here's Bo Bennett with a shot. Malkin was poised and ready to shoot in the slot. Instead, the shot went wide and comes out to center. Bennett again with Spalling. Malkin right up through the middle. Takes the shot up high. He missed the net. Chris Letang. There's Sergei Gonchar. Checked by Bo Bennett, so he goes back the other way to Beaulieu. Up the boards, Pacioretty gets back, chops the puck to the blue line. Nick Spalling held the line. And Pacioretty gets a hold of the puck, and the Canadiens are out to center. Alex Galchenyuk regroups, drops the puck off. Long shoot in by Beaulieu, an easy save for Marc-Andre Fleury. Chris Letang up the boards. Eller's trying to hold the puck in. Steve Downey bounces the puck through some legs. Keeping it in is Tom Gilbert, who pitched in from the blue line, and the Penguins will try again to get up. A lob to center, and it fell right in front of Yuri Sekach. Eller to Brandon Prost, and back the other way. Gilbert jumps up. The late cover. Sekach dropped the puck off into the skates of Alexei Yemlin. There's Sekach again. Has some speed. Scuderi comes over to meet him. Lars Eller gets a hold of the puck to the blue line. Subban. Yemlin has some room. He made a pass, and it's tipped into the corner by Yuri Sekach, who's had an active shift. Now Steve Downey with the puck starts out for Pittsburgh. He'll dump it in. Pittsburgh wants another change.
I'm sure the message on the Montreal bench is put pucks to the net. A couple of great passes and good plays, but no shots on goal.
There's one. PK Subban. Never reluctant to shoot. Markov. They're on the ice, anticipating that Crosby would arrive, but it's the fourth line that's out there. And Rigetto tipped into the middle. Thomas with a shot, ricochet right on goal, off the stick of Bournival. Not sure if he meant to tip that, but he got it. And Fleury had to make a save. Christian Thomas, Michael Bournival, Sven and Rigetto on the forecheck. And the fourth line of the Penguins get by it. Adams dumps the puck in. He took a jolt from Bournival. Beaulieu checked by Zach Sill. Trying to clear the puck out of his own zone. Bournival, and Rigetto gives him a hand. And here again, Pittsburgh is changing. Crosby's coming on. A quick attack after a quick shift to get Crosby on against the fourth line of Montreal. And look how quickly they changed. Paul Martin or Tuzo. Crosby wanted it up the boards, but he actually wanted to get the puck, and he didn't. Gonchar into the middle of the ice, turned over. Here's Bortuzzo, holds the puck in for Pittsburgh. Beaulieu to Gonchar. Dale Weiss. That's an intentional shoot in to beat out an icing call for David Desharnais. Bortuzzo gave him a rough ride and took the puck back for good measure. On the blue line, a long shot by Weiss went off a leg. Paul Martin. Sidney Crosby relayed for Kunitz, couldn't take the puck. Subban to Plekanec and back in. Both teams are going to change now. A lot of this tonight, a lot of long periods of time with no stoppages, but not a heck of a lot happening around the nets.
You heard the crowd try to get into it a couple minutes ago, but even they got a little weary of it.
There's a tip at the side of the net. Price couldn't get a hold of that puck. And now Evgeny Malkin has got it, and he gave it away trying to pass to Chris Letang. Gallagher, nifty play to Pacioretty, shoots it. Fleury made the save. Malkin is back in his own zone. Checked by Alex Galchenyuk. Up the boards and out off the stick of Beaupenny. Tom Gilbert is back. Nick Spaulding watches him from in front of the net. And Malkin starts a change. True to the word of Mike Johnson, quick shifts, short shifts for the Penguins in a 4-line game.
And both these teams very well rested, having not played much, so you can expect some high energy here, but neither team able to get sustained pressure for very long, have they? Out of neutral zone.
Nathan Beaulieu, Brandon Cross, Lenny Segpatch. Good poke check there by Paul Martin. Canadians took the puck back. Here's Beaulieu, takes the shot, fearlessly blocked by Dupre. Another shot into the corner, and Eller couldn't tip it. Gonchar, Lars Eller, his pass is a giveaway. Brandon Sutter starts out. He's got Rust with him. Sutter hangs on to Rust, hit him in the skate. Oh, what a terrific chance for Pittsburgh to take the lead, and it bounced off the skate of Rust. Here's David Perron, takes the shot, didn't miss by much as the game opens up a little bit. Bertuzzo off the bench. The fans called too many men on the ice.
And they didn't. It was late, but that was
They got it.
late response, but it's the right one.
And now the Penguins are hot. They thought they got away with it.
Yeah, Brian Murphy, the linesman, ended up making the call, but I think this is the right call because 3 were on. Watch the shot blocking here by Dupre. Just turns his head at the last second, but saves a chance and then back the other way. The Pittsburgh Penguins on a 2-on-1. 50 little play that Rust couldn't find the handle on that one as it hit him in the skate. Look at the bodies, 6 on the ice, and the 2 that jumped on ended up making the play, so that's a good call.
The argument being made by Christopher Letang was he just stood by the bench. He didn't engage in the play. The puck just came right to him. Nice drive. Yeah, the right call.
So now a struggling power play has a chance to win the game. Montreal's 4th power play of the game. 0 for 3. The last couple have been pretty good. They just haven't scored. Placanich, Desharnais, and Pacioretty together up front. Again, it's Subban and Markov. The point men, and they're turned back at the blue line by the aggressive Penguins penalty kill.
Their entries have been terrible for Montreal. If they can get their entries together, which they haven't been able to do on this power play, then they get 5 versus 4. They'll get a chance.
Subban had all kinds of open ice and instead went right into the trap. That's what he's doing here.
Now he stick handles in, backhands the puck around on the boards. Placanich met by Paul Martin, and a nice play by the veteran Martin to Craig Adams and out.
Once again, you go from where you do have numbers in the offensive zone to a dump in where the Pittsburgh Penguins end up with a 3-on-1 and get the puck out.
As for Spin and Vigino, and again, no entry for Montreal. They're turned back.
And for PK, he makes a lot of plays on his backhand. Not as effective as making plays on your forehand. A good example goes to his backhand. Can't get much mustard on it. As a result, Pittsburgh, they get better puck keepers. They're bigger.
This time to shoot it. Bortuzzo up the board. Zach Sill. Penguins at center with numbers. Spaulding drives the middle. There's the pass. Quick shot by Christian Ehrhoff is stopped by Carey Price. He steered it to the boards, and the Canadians start their breakout again. Alex Galchenyuk carries it in himself. Cut by Marcel Gottsch. Got hit by Simon Dupre and hit hard. And the Penguins get the puck back, and Galchenyuk gets up, parking at the referee. There's a drop pass for Gottsch. Takes the shot. Price calmly makes the save. Pittsburgh's had the best chances while shorthanded against this power play.
Got 3 shorthanded goals on the year, but as you mentioned, 2 really good chances. Ehrhoff jumping up earlier, and then Marcel Gottsch there with another high shot. Boy, they're going high on Carey Price a lot, aren't they? Malcolm beat him over the glove, but there's been numerous times where they're going upstairs.
He hasn't flinched, and the penalty's over. Montreal's 0 for 4. 2 very good teams with 2 very struggling power plays tonight.
Another big hit by Dupre. He's been in a lot of highlights in this game, blocking shots here. Galchenyuk gets a hard hit. That's the 2nd time for Galchenyuk. You see the hit by Downey. Had him down and out for a little while at the end of the 2nd period.
Welcome to life as a top center in the NHL.
Some big minutes.
Big minutes and lots of attention, some big hits. Crosby comes on against Lars Eller, who wins the draw. Nathan Beaulieu with the outlet pass. Sekach got his head up just in time at center. Brandon Prust up against Chris Letang. Tried to center it, the Penguins knock it down, and now there's a foot race. Look at Letang go up against PK Subban. And Subban got twisted and turned around, and he nicely recovered, and what a good race.
Yeah, Letang had the advantage. He turned around and got a little bit of a head start.
There's an offside call as Brandon Prust got in ahead of Lars Eller. And Crosby's shaken up. What happened to Sid? Oh, he got hit by Sekach on Hockey Night in Canada. Don't miss The Book of Negroes, the epic 6-part miniseries starring Lou Gossett Jr., Cuba Gooding Jr. It continues Wednesday at 9 on CBC. Glenn solved the mystery of the injury to Sid Crosby.
Well, for all you male viewers at home, turn away from the TV because we have seen lots of different types of injuries, but nothing like that. And there's the reaction. And on the bench, well, I can chuckle about it now. I seem to be just okay. He's going to win a cup. Certainly didn't want to get that close to the cup.
Why do guys always joke about that? It hurts.
It hurts. Still not an attempt on net by Crosby yet this game.
Here's Malkin. Bo Bennett moves in and shoots, and he hit the post. Set up by Malkin. Malkin again. He's really started to come on as this game has gone on. Brendan Gallagher trying to clear the puck. Malkin against Galchenyuk at center. Gallagher poked his stick in as well, and the Canadians won the battle for the moment.
Strange minutes, though, for Malkin, guys. Just under 10 minutes after 2. His career low, his season low this year is just under 15. And he may hit that mark here tonight.
Not a lot of power play time tonight, though, and short shifts in a 4-line game. Sekach. Brandon Prust centering, that was deflected. Trying to keep the puck in is Alexei Yemelin. No, he didn't keep it in. It came just outside the line.
Another good chance of Bo Bennett following Malkin. As mentioned before, always being ready. Malkin with the drop pass. Bennett with a bit of a delay and sees some room blocker side. As all goaltenders always tell you, that's all I gave you was the post. And good positional play, though, by Price. He was in the right spot. Not much of an open net there for Bennett.
Another Sekach and Prust for Montreal out here against Brandon Sutter's line. Ryan Rust. Steve Downing. Rust couldn't get the puck out. Gilbert kept it in. Now Ehrhoff has a chance to move it for Pittsburgh. And he'll carry it to center and head for the net. Here's Rust with a shot. An easy save made more difficult because of where the puck went. And Price got bumped and knocked down as the puck comes the other way on the stick of Lars Eller. Ryan Rust starts the breakout again. Brandon Sutter cut off by Desharnais. Dumps the puck in. PK Subban sees Pittsburgh on a change, so he takes off. Tried to dump the puck and he turned it over. Here's Perron to Kunitz. Crosby's with him. The pass, Perron to Crosby. Great back check by Thomas Plekanec. Scuderi, Dupre. And again, Crosby didn't get an attempt on net. He's been smothered tonight. Here he is trying to get a shot. Can't get the backhand. Played most of the night against Thomas Plekanec.
Plekanec may have saved the goal there on that backhand turnover by PK.
There's Plekanec offensively now. Dumps the puck in. Dale Weiss to disengage with Scuderi, so he couldn't get after the puck, and now he needs a change. Dupre needed some support and got it. Just Kunitz, end of a shift, passes off. Scuderi turns and dumps the puck in. Gonchar to Beaulieu to center. Bourneval tips the puck in. 1-1 tie, third period halfway through, and it's still a 4-line game, both teams. Here's a test again for that fourth line of Montreal's out against Evgeny Malkin. Thomas checks Malkin. A little stick from him, too. Now Malkin can't get by Gonchar. Christian Thomas got checked by Nick Spaulding. And Righetto had the puck swept off his stick. Bortuzzo to Bennett. The shoot in. Gilbert. Spaulding takes the man. The puck comes to Christian Thomas. And he just snapped it down the ice, and there's a fourth line mistake, an icing call, and they've been out there for a while.
Well, Well, a couple good chances by the Penguins to try to break this tie as Brian Rust comes in, gets a hard shot that fools Price. Price gets knocked down by Ehrhoff, tried to draw a penalty, but to no avail. And then here's the back check. Great inside position by Plekanec at the right time. He just waited till the pass came and calmly knocked it away.
Pittsburgh won the draw. Gotch got it. There's the shot knocked out. Adams shoots. What a save by Price. Remember, this is a tired fourth line that iced the puck, and they have very little experience at center ice and lost the draw. Now they're scrambling to change.
So with that icing, guys, and a fourth line for Montreal on, why would Crosby not be on the ice for an offensive zone draw?
Good question. Instead, it was the fourth line of Gotch.
And they drew a penalty, though. Tom Gilbert's going to get the call, and the Penguins will get their chance.
So the scramble, and it was partly because of the scramble that was on after that face-off and the icing call. Craig Adams with a chance, and Carey Price with one of his best saves of the game on Hockey Night in Canada. Well, Montreal had a chance on the power play to break the tie. Now Pittsburgh gets one.
Well, a split-second decision here for Gilbert. The puck's dumped in. He goes and makes body contact, and the arm goes up.
Adams, 2 great chances tonight to score A1 quality scoring chances, but it's going to all the wrong guys. That's the 380th consecutive shift that Adams has not scored a goal.
A power play that is 2 for its last 32 has a chance to win the game for Pittsburgh. Out the draw. Here's Malkin swinging and a miss and a rolling puck. Letang kept the play alive. David Perron with a shot right to the net. There's another save by Price, and then the puck is knocked away to the inboards. Great chances there. Pacioretty to center. Plekanec checked by Kunitz, who got the puck back, then he gave it away. PK Subban goes for a skate and dumps the puck in on the penalty kill.
There's the one time Sidney Crosby had good positioning in front with nobody there. Perron tried a little shot pass that Price was equal again to the pass.
Penguins trying to get set up again. Kunitz around to Sidney Crosby. Letang awaits the puck at the blue line, slides into the middle, then passes off. David Perron, Letang, Crosby with Kunitz in front. Malkin at the side of the net. No one to pass to, so he goes back to Sid. Perron's at the side of the net in the backdoor play now, and that pass snapped right into his shin guards. Letang turns at center, and he's right back in for Pittsburgh. Dumped the puck in deep. Subban had a look around, got the puck in, just threw it down the ice with 50 seconds to go in this power play for Pittsburgh.
And here's another example, the top power play unit not getting anything done and looking like they're going to stay out almost a minute. Crosby finally succumbs and goes to the bench frustrated, a minute and a half.
Now slowly out of their own zone, Letang. Sutter has a little more speed, but he lost the puck to Thomas Plekanec, who just takes his time and sends the puck in deep. Bo Bennett starts a breakout. Got Sutter with it. Bennett goes to the net. Sutter with a great move, and he was poke checked, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. It's a hooking call that'll take Pittsburgh off this power play.
A seemingly nothing play that Alexei Emelin is going to argue his case. But Bennett with that right-handed shot pulls, a little curl and drag, gets inside position, and just right on the arm there that knocks it away from Sutter. As Crosby earlier on, I said frustrated, got good inside position, stick on the ice, wanted the hard pass, got a piece of it, but look at the positioning of Carey Price again. Came across, got down, no holes between the 5-hole, and a little frustration on the bench.
So it's Emelin that goes. He had swept the puck to the blue line. That's why the whistle went just as Pittsburgh got the puck. So 2 men short for 9 seconds, which is an eternity when they can win the faceoff in the attacking zone here. Crosby's back on with Kunitz and Perron. Malkin lined up at the right point. Letang at the left in a shooting position. Big faceoff for Thomas Plekanec. Crosby goes to his forehand and one. Malkin, a stick by Andrei Markov. Stop the play, and Gilbert should get back home. Here comes Crosby. 5-on-4 now. David Perron. Crosby stops at the side of the net. Chris Letang looks at the net. His shot, as he broke his stick, was knocked down, and now he's got to hustle. As the Canadians broke up and turned the puck over in the neutral zone. Crosby shoots, great save by Price. Shoots not without a chance to score now.
You saw a chuckle there with Carey Price and Pacioretty. A turnover here, a chance offensively. Good hustle coming back, creates this chance. Crisscross, perfect shot. And Glenn, that's got to be a great feeling. The crowd comes to its feet.
Yeah, you got the best player in the world, 25 feet, and arguably one of the best goalies in the world. Says, I one-upped you.
Still a 5-on-4 power play for Pittsburgh, and Crosby wins the draw again. Paul Martin, David Perron, watched by Eller. Martin to Malkin. Kunitz is parked in front of the net. Malkin tried a one-time pass, and it's intercepted. Here's Eller trying to get away from Crosby. Pulls away from Malkin, and the play is offside. Brandon Prust was just ahead of Lars Eller.
We asked why this power play has struggled so much, and I mentioned before, Glenn, the fact that it's hard to teach and coach great players. They just think that they can make plays at any time. This is twice now. The one on the 5-on-3, Malkin turned it over by trying to risky play through two guys. There's another one, a bad decision, and the frustration just grows as Malkin thinking he could thread that one through two guys.
He didn't have a play at all, did he?
No, not at all. And it is hard. You know, Rick Tocchet was a good player in his own right, but going down on the bench and scolding your top two players and telling them they're not doing the right things is not always the best way of trying to get this team going.
Oh, you don't even have to go down to the best players. This is 2015. You've got to say it gently and softly.
Please score. Letang with a drop pass to Bo Bennett.
It helps if you put pretty in front of that too, Jim. Pretty, yeah, pretty please.
Letang to Christian Ehrhoff. To the net, Downey tipped that and stopped it instead. Steve Downey to Chris Letang. Thought about shooting, now he passes off. Ehrhoff takes the shot off the head of Carey Price. A glancing blow that went off the glass. Ehrhoff has a great shot now shorthanded. Here's Thomas Buchanan. It's in on Letang. Took a shot that deflected off a stick to the corner.
Price took his mask off there, actually. Is just making sure no strap was broken.
Here's Malkin. 10 seconds to go in the penalty. Up the boards. Pacioretty. It's been a night for the penalty kills. Yemlin sent to come back on. Back-to-back penalties killed by Montreal in the third period, and it's still a 1-1 tie. 5-on-5 again. Sergei Gonchar to Tom Gilbert.
At some point, though, you have to change that power play up, though, if you're the Penguins there again.
Who do you go to?
The drop-off after that first unit, too, is a pretty significant one. You don't get any kind of a push on that last 40 seconds or so.
They don't have a big shot from the back end. Right. So you can collapse. They don't have a big shot from the back end. So you can collapse four around the net. And that's what they're doing. Very effective.
Here's Galchenyuk. PK, Subban, Pacioretty hit the side of the net. Unbelievable. Pacioretty with a wide open net hit the side of it on a remarkable play by Subban to set him up.
I think it really surprised him. That's why he missed.
It may be. That is unbelievable because he hasn't missed anything lately. He can't believe it. Subban to Pacioretty. You can see how much net he had, and he hit the side of the goal. A quick look at the Budweiser Red Light scoreboard with games still to come. Calgary and Vancouver, Los Angeles and Winnipeg on Hockey Night tonight. David Desharnais earlier this evening foreshadowing Max Pacioretty's evening against Pittsburgh.
You're in his head, huh? You scored so many goals against Fleury.
Well, in fact, he scored 8 against Fleury, and this would have been 9, and this would have sealed the deal. Got 9 goals in 20 games versus the Pens, 8 of them against 29, and that one you're not going to get a much better and bigger gift.
And so it remains 1-1. Fleury and Carey Price in a goaltending duel. Neither of them have been really busy, but both have made some pretty good saves. Robert Bortuzzo. Paul Martin tangles to center. PK Subban broke up the play, and his partner Andrei Markov is back to the puck. Hard around to the boards to Dale Weiss. Again, it's matched up against Crosby again as Martin gets back to the puck. Off the boards to Malkin, and ahead to Nick Spaulding. Into the middle of the ice, Bennett leads the puck for Evgeny Malkin, and he couldn't get much on that as he ran into the defense. Spaulding's in the middle of the ice. Bennett, cross-ice pass. Ehrhoff shot easily blocked. Spaulding to the front of the net, didn't get through to Bennett. Puck was intercepted by Alex Galchenyuk. Now he chugs up the middle of the ice, and a long pass for Gallagher was knocked away by Chris Letang. Canadians don't see an opportunity to forecheck, so back off defensively. Up the middle, Bennett with a tip. Rust couldn't get the puck. Well, you did, and he shot it back in, but it's an icing call against Montreal. Don't miss the Book of Negroes, the epic 6-part miniseries starring Lou Gossett Jr., Cuba Gooding Jr., and it all continues Wednesday night at 9 on CBC.
Sidney Crosby with just one shot on goal, but it was a heck of a chance, a scoring chance off of a turnover, and Carey Price with his most acrobatic save of the night to keep it a 1-1 game.
Crosby and Eller on the face-off. Lars Eller won the draw. Gallagher comes back to take the pass and moves the puck to center. Pacioretty. He was shooting. Eller was out for the face-off. Stays out there with Gallagher in the midst of a change. Sekac has just come off the bench, and he has the puck. He's with Brendan Gallagher. Left the puck behind. Markov shot it in, not deep. Kunitz off the boards. Here's Sidney Crosby, stops up, feeds Perron, backhander, stopped by Price. That was going to be pretty. Last minute of the third period in a 1-1 tie. David Perron. Now they back off, and Pittsburgh changes. Lots of time for Markov to get out to center. Trust couldn't move the puck in. Eller plays it back. Sekac. Rink wide, another icing call against Montreal, and that group has to stay.
Well, always dangerous on a turnover. Crosby just takes off behind Markov, and you wonder in a couple of weeks if David Perron will be ready for a one-timer here instead of having to take that puck and twirl around. Didn't get the shot he wanted, but it'll be a work in progress of practicing every day and being prepared for those kind of passes. Perron's last 10 games in Edmonton, no goals, and Jim just 5 shots in his last 6. All of a sudden here, he's had 11 shots in 2 games.
Well, let's look back and see how the goals came as Montreal calls a 30-second timeout.
Well, we heard David Desharnais talk about Pacioretty. Great shot on a 2-on-1 that Pacioretty beats the glove side. A similar shot on the glove side of Carey Price. Malkin through a crowd, and that's what has us at 1.
With all the firepower, all the stars that come into Montreal tonight against Carey Price, this would typify calm, cool, and 98.6. Nothing seems to faze this guy. Gets hit in the right ear, and during play, as it's going up the ice, let me just check my equipment here, I'll put it back on. Everything seems to be fine. Fix your sweater. Very first game he won on a Wednesday night, October 10th, 2007. He looked the same as he looks tonight. Calm, cool, collected. In fact, Mark Recchi commented on how big and calm he was in the net. Gretzky, on the other hand, said, we could have scored more. He wasn't going to give him any credit.
You mean Crosby?
Well, I know Crosby there again, too. Heels, you mentioned it earlier on a 4th line shift. You got 33 seconds offensive zone. Why not put Crosby and Malkin out?
Together. They haven't played a shift together tonight, and that's unusual.
I don't understand that.
This time an icing call against Pittsburgh.
I'd be real interested to see what the old captain, Mario Lemieux, would be feeling watching this at home. I mean, that's a situation where if 66 was sitting on the bench there, I think he'd have his leg over it, trying to get into the play without, forget about what the coach says. Get me out here to win a hockey game.
Well, now Malkin ice the puck, so now Pittsburgh's going to take its 30-second timeout. They can't change anybody, and they don't have a particularly good face-off man on the ice. Still lots more action to come, probably here. And then in our late game, the Calgary Flames 2 points out of a playoff spot up against Vancouver. Winnipeg and Los Angeles, both teams have 47 points. Currently, they're the two Western wild cards. Great action still to come tonight on Hockey Night in Canada.
Glenn, here's where the culture has changed so much as well. Back in our day, 99 would have gone out on his own. Yeah. And he'd be out there for the face-off. Mario Lemieux would have done the same. And to me, it's a little bit shocking that you sit with your captain on the ice, on the bench, when you had a chance to win in an offensive zone.
Now you could take number 11 and Mark Messier when he was in New York. It was the same thing.
Force the coach to take you off. Call you back.
In fact, with Gretzky, a lot of times, if you were a left winger, he was first on. Right winger, he was first on. He didn't wait for the center to change.
And Malkin just won a faceoff. And that was a big one for Pittsburgh after the TV timeout, after the icing call. And that should get the game to overtime. So each of these teams will have a point. So they're both at 55, but another big point in the Eastern Conference still available as Carey Price, Marc-Andre Fleury, and Sidney Crosby get set for overtime. 1-1 OT coming up on Hockey Night in Canada. We'll return to Montreal in just a moment. From the Bell Center in Montreal, a 1-1 tie as we head to overtime. Pittsburgh's won 3 games in overtime. They lost the last one, though, to Boston. They are the goal scorers, and Montreal has won 1 game in overtime, 5 in the shootout this season. They've been pretty good at that. We welcome the viewers who are watching Washington's 3-1 win over Detroit tonight, a game in which Jimmy Howard was hurt. Not sure how serious that is. Here, a serious 1-1 tie, and Sidney Crosby starts overtime with Chris Kunitz. The forwards for Montreal, David Desharnais and Max Pacioretty. Still not a shift tonight with Sid and Gino together. Here's Sidney Crosby alone. Stopped by Carey Price from the blue line. Robert Bertuzzo, Paul Martin. Crosby at the side of the net. That was a pass for him. All he could do was tip that one into the corner. It was coming at him at 100 miles an hour. Pacioretty. A close shave there for Montreal. Markov up the middle. A tip in by Pacioretty. Right on Fleury. Wants to play the puck himself and does to Chris Kunitz. Crosby's over on the other side of the ice. Bertuzzo jumps up to join in. Now he's going to change as the puck is dumped in. Crosby went to pounce on it. Lost it. David Desharnais back the other way for Pacioretty. Poked away by Christian Ehrhoff. Now Malkin's on the ice. Kunitz is with him. Malkin, a weak shot kicked aside. It could have been trouble for Price because it was a bit of a changeup. Sergei Gonchar. Slowly to center. Watched by Bo Bennett, who's now out with Malkin.
There's the benefit for Malkin, though. He's got Letang on the ice with him.
From the blue line, Nathan Beaulieu, a bouncing puck. Couldn't get a shot away. Bouncing puck again, and it got over the stick of Malkin, so Nathan Beaulieu turned, tried to get the puck to Plekanec, and did after Malkin deflected it. Deep in his own zone, Bo Bennett. It's a good way to keep Malkin hemmed up in his own zone. Welcome viewers of the Ottawa Senators game to Montreal in a 1-1 tie in overtime. Bo Bennett for Pittsburgh. A centering pass went off a stick. Rob Scuderi along the boards to Bennett, taken away by Brendan Gallagher from Montreal. He chips the puck and chases it, but he tripped over the blue line. And the Penguins have the puck. Simon Dupré to center. Bo Bennett plays the puck back. Rob Scuderi. Pittsburgh's changing. David Perron has come on the ice. Dupré gives him the puck. There's the shot up high, missed the net, and chases Rob Scuderi all the way to center. David Perron. Rink wide, Simon Dupré moves in on Gilbert, stops up through the puck of the net. Price made the save. Brennan Sutter tripped up, looked like he stepped on a stick. David Perron turns, passes off. Dupré trying to get away from Alex Galchenyuk of Montreal. Dupré fanned on a pass and got the puck back himself. He fell down, kept it alive. David Perron with some nifty moves, and Price stopped him, and the rebound is shot wide by Paul Martin jumping in. Perron again, dangles again, and he backhands the puck into the corner. Paul Martin Crosby snuck onto the ice, takes the pass from Perron, moves in front, stopped by Price. What a save by Alexei Yemelin. The puck got through, and Yemelin keeps Montreal alive in overtime, swiping the puck off the goal line. And after a quiet night, looked like Sid would win it again.
Too many men for the Montreal Canadiens. So a power play chance again. This game should be over twice now. Crosby looking skyward. Here's the one, a quick turnover, and just no hesitation by Price. He didn't buy on any move. He just stayed with him and went across, and the room just was taken away by that left pad. And then a nice pass by Perron, a power move to the inside, a quick shot that was going to the back of the net like a curling rock, and Yemelin there to stop it.
Not only does he stop it, but in tight quarters, he manages to keep the puck in the rink.
Yeah.
Hit the glass about 6 inches.
Just barely right by you, huh?
Not too many men on the ice, and now a 4-on-3 power play for Pittsburgh with 1:51 to go in overtime.
This is something that you don't practice all that much either, 4-on-3. Something that doesn't happen all that often during the game. So it'll be interesting to see what the setup is.
Malkin and Crosby out together. Letang on the blue line couldn't hold the line. Only on the power play tonight. Crosby and Malkin played together. Here's Letang carrying the puck in. Crosby, Kunitz is on the ice to go to the front of the net. Plekanec is without a stick. He had to discard a broken stick. Here's Malkin. Crosby comes towards him, takes the pass. Letang, Malkin, bang. Plekanec wanted to go after him, but he has no stick. Now he has to back off. Letang, Malkin fakes the shot. Crosby takes it and scores. Malkin to Crosby, and Pittsburgh wins 2-1 in overtime.
Like so many great players, they write their own story. The puck finds its way. Price goes off dejected after a great game. Crosby kept in check basically all night, Jim, and then in overtime, 3 great chances. 2 of them foiled, and finally the last one he puts in the back of the net.
Too many men, so a power play and a broken stick, and the game conspired against
and Price that time did bite to his right when he thought the puck was going to go to the other side and got caught cheating. That little peek right there. And the puck in, no chance, and Crosby 14 inches just inside the post, too far away for Price to get at it.
It is amazing how the night goes. Crosby couldn't have had a more quiet night through regulation time. 3 chances to win it in overtime, and on the third one, this happens.
And it's about preparation too. Look at, he's locked and loaded and ready to shoot. There's no hesitation. Directing traffic, making sure Malkin knows where to go. When the puck is there, there is no hesitation, no time. Down on his back foot, on his knee to make sure he gets some extra power on that. And that quickness and that power gets that puck in the back of the net before Price. Just that last second hesitation by Price. He got looking to his right, couldn't get back to his left. And there's the end result.
So a happy night after a very frustrating evening for most of it, as Sidney Crosby gets the game winner, and the 2 big boys scored the goals for Pittsburgh. Evgeny Malkin was the best of the Penguins tonight, and is the first star. Carey Price, brilliant, even though lost in overtime, and Sidney Crosby just about won it twice before he finally scored. And Pittsburgh beats Montreal 2-1 and wins the season series that is now over. George Stroumboulopoulos and his panel coming up, and still more on Hockey Night in Canada.